Welcome to the Spirit-Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here is your host, Bralynn Newby.
Welcome back to Spirit-Centered Business. I'm here for part 2 with Elizabeth Gomes. And if you missed part 1, definitely go over to spiritcenteredbusiness.com or the YouTube channel or wherever you're enjoying the visual podcast, because she literally walked through showing us how to use AI for creativity to create the images that you see in the heavenly realms or you see in your imagination. And that was so powerful. And I just love that you were open enough to just share it. I love that, Elizabeth. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Bralynn. Thank you, everyone. Yes.
So in this segment, I want to go over what are you doing with your publishing and how are you helping people? I know that we talked a little bit, you showed us a little bit about a children's book you're working on for a client. And I want to learn more about that and then how people can get a hold of you and join your Eclesia group.
Okay. So let's talk about the publishing. It's called Eclesia Publishing. That's how I pronounce it. I started out a few years ago because I love books. I love writing. Simple as that. And I've spent years and years with books, reading, editing, correcting. I used to actually be an English teacher years and years ago. And it's to me, it's certain things like the word, everything to the publishing, certain things like the word, like write the vision, make it plain, the word came and dwell among us. Like those things are like music or voices inside of me saying, we need to write it down. Everybody has a voice. And in this time we're living in, I think we need authors and writers who will bring out a new sound. And I feel like Eclesia Publishing, hence the words Eclesia, it's a platform and a place to help that sound to be released. Because everybody's voice is unique and there is no one like you. There is not a single person like you. And I would say I could celebrate you because our Father, Yeshua himself, breathed it into you. His testimony is in you, within you, and all over you. And because of that, we could celebrate what your scroll carries, what is resounding inside of you. And we want to hear your voice. We want to hear your voice, but we want your voice to have its own uniqueness, not a copycat of anything else. And that is to be celebrated. We don't have to, for example, let's use this. You have your spirit life, right? Business. So we could say, okay, we like that. And we say, I want to, how she did that. We could learn how you did that, but we don't have to do what you do. So this is the beauty of a relationship with our Father. Now I could go to Father and say, Father, what is my scroll? What is it? What is the sound of my voice? What is the unique sound that should be released in this earth? And then he will show us that. And I know that might sound lofty, but actually it's not. It's as simple as sitting with him. Spend the time sitting with him. You will get it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's another story. We're not teaching that right now. So Eclesia Publishing is a platform for that. So yes, it's a place where I could earn also, absolutely. But I really enjoy each author sound, their style. And even though everyone might not be, quote unquote, a writer, when I sit to the book, everything is silent. I do engage angels. I do ascend. I do set my heart there, because when I'm writing, I said, Father, I ask about the book, or I ask for help so that I'm able to edit according to what the author is trying to bring out. I'm not just editing. Yes, I could edit, do all the grammar, all those things, copy, line editing, structural, developmental, whatever. We have to do that. That's absolutely important because we put it out there in the market. But right. Apart from that, it's important, it's imperative that I see the author's heart and I see what they're trying to say. I have to feel their heart. There are books that I edit that it makes me cry. Because There are books that I've edited also that is not quote unquote in this, I didn't want to use this term, this move.
Mm.
There are people who are just beautiful people, but they I don't want to say that word. They just love Jesus. Let's put it like that. And their
Yeah, but
hearts are
are you saying they
and
haven't stepped into the kingdom age yet?
no, they haven't stepped into that
Yeah.
at all. But they have something they want to share. Like this woman, she's such a beautiful heart. I met her a few times. Such a beautiful, simple woman, and she just loved Jesus. And she would share about she had this massive encounter. She said, "This is how I met the Trinity," and she would talk about, and it is massive the encounter she has. Now I know we could go and do all the explanations about this and that. I'm not going there. I am just I'm just zooming in rather to what she has experienced and celebrating that and honor that where she is and what she's experienced. And then, so when I operate like that, I'm able to bring out her book as it is. You understand?
Absolutely.
And they gave me, some of them gave me they go ahead to say, okay, make it better. So I would engage the encounter. Like if I'm reading somebody's encounter and I would feel that encounter, like if it's mine, I'm able to expand it, not exaggerate. I mean, to make it better, to word it better. That's the right thing. I should say to word it better so the reader could get an understanding of what they're really trying to say.
That's
so
good.
yeah.
So the developmental editing is usually the hardest part for me, because as an author, I try to sit under the open portals of heaven and sit with the scribe angels and just get the download like some authors get. It hasn't worked that way for me. So I have to write what's on my heart for that day. So the way that I do it is I do an outline, which is kind of the table of contents, and then whatever feels like I have some juice on or excitement about, or I just read something about, so it perks my imagination to write on that area. So I'm not writing it necessarily in the way, the order that the book is. So sometimes I need another point of view to look and see, is this still readable? Because I wrote it, all over the place and then ordered it this way. And so I love that you do that. And then another thing is keeping the author's voice, because I have worked with editors. I write very, very conversational. I write like we're having a conversation. We're just sitting over the coffee table, and I'm grammatically correct with colloquialisms, not with like a professor of English, right? And I've had authors that were so heavy editing just to make it perfect. And I'm like, but that's not my voice, right? So I love that you really pay attention to the author's voice and their style.
Yes, the simplicity of structural / developmental editing is to restructure it in such a way. For example, like how you write. Some persons may write sporadically. They get a thought, they write there, they got a thought, and it mightn't fit, chronologically or in order. So when I don't even know how I can do this. When I'm reading a book or going through a book, I will see the flow of the river.
That's good.
I don't want to get just thinking about that. I see the flow of the river and where it should flow from and how it should come home back, right? And so that, to me, that's my terminology for structural or developmental add-ins, so I can move certain things around so they could flow properly, right? Or sometimes I have to merge some things. Sometimes the river merges so it could have a better flow, right?
I love that. Yep.
Yeah, so that's my creative words of explaining that. So I don't have to say structural. I could say it's a river that is flowing or emerging of a river, right? And so, yeah, so that's unique. For example, if some persons say, I have so much writing, I want to write, but I don't know how, I'm not able to fit it, to say it's not hard at all. The first thing you do, first of all, don't give me paper. Don't give me paper, okay? You wouldn't be able to pay me for paper. You take everything that you have written, it doesn't matter what order it's in, and just write it down. Put a folder on your desktop right? You're sitting with your computer and your journals. Good to have your journal. That's right. That's important, right? Paper connection. But if you're giving it to me, get your book, sitting on the computer and write everything down. Put a folder, my book or my first book, whatever, and put everything there. When you put it there, then talk to me again. Then I will tell you what is the next step. It's easy. Just do that. And then I will, at that step, when we pass there, I'll tell you what is the next step. Because if you give me it like that, that's quite a while. That's quite a while because it will be all over the place, right? So I will help somebody because what will happen once they've written one book, they will write another book. And so if I show them how to do it, it will lessen my work, but it will also help them to have the confidence to do something else, to write another book. I give them something to work with.
Very good. Yeah, very good. So we do similar things. With my first book, that was the process that describes what you're talking about, because people come to me with all of these different ideas, and some are on sticky notes and some are written on the computer and some are in their journal, and some things they haven't written down yet. And they want to create a signature process that they can coach from and get transformation, or they want to create online courses or memberships or programs. And so it's the same kind of a concept. Well, let's look at what you have. Let's take an inventory, put it all in one place. So I love that you have them all, put it all in one folder, because once it's collected and you have your arms around something, it's a lot easier to manage. And it also frees up brain power, right? Because you don't have to keep track of where things are and what's what and all of that stuff. So love that.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah.
So how do people get a hold of you if they need help writing their book?
Right now, my son's supposed to be building my website. I'm still waiting on them.
Okay.
I don't have the time for it, so they're still looking at my website. I said, Mom, give me some time. I have to finish my dad's website, do something with that, and then so my website is not up. I had one, I took it down so that the boys could get.
So email you?
Email. Yeah.
Okay.
Just simply Eclesia Publishing @gmail.com. That's it.
I'm sorry, you say Ecclesia different than I do. Ecclesia? No, I say Ecclesia, you say Ecclesia, right?
Ecclesia. Yeah, I do CC. ECCLES.
Oh, and you use CC. Okay. Ecclesia with 2 C's Publishing @gmail.com. Okay, we will definitely put that in the show notes.
That's it.
Awesome. And it's better for authors to get a hold of you at the very beginning or after they've started, or when would you want to jump into the stream with them?
Anytime they want to. It depends on where they're at. If it's a new author and they don't know where to start, I would love to walk with. I usually do a Zoom meeting just to have a chat to them to see where they're at and to help them along the way. If I have an author, she's amazing. She does her own artwork and everything, and her books are different. So I don't have to, because she knows a lot of stuff and so on. I don't have to. She's very, very good with what she's doing. And this is not to say that the other person is not very good. It's just because they probably haven't stepped into that road as yet.
Sure.
That's why they don't know how it started. But she has been doing stuff, so she knows.
And do you design covers for people, or was that just a special thing for me?
I do design covers.
Okay.
It's special for you because it's your book. There's nothing else like.
And for those of you who missed part 1, this behind me is what Elizabeth designed for my cover, Discover Your Business Destiny. And we talked all about that. But okay, so you do design their covers. Awesome.
I do. Yeah, awesome. I do.
And that's also at Eclesia Publishing.
Yes, I do design it. I do most things. If I don't have the time, then I have someone who I would not for the designing necessarily. They have someone that I passed on to him and said, what do you think about this? I would give him a couple of designs. If I do the entire, not just the artwork, if I do the entire thing, like the title, everything on it, and they would give me, because they have an eye for those things, but I just can't get them to do it. I'm busy. So, and they would help me along. So I just don't necessarily, I would do it alone, but I always like to have other viewpoints. So my family is very creative. So I passed along to say, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? So I get help that way. And but initially, if someone say, this is what I'm seeing, like I did one cover for a children's book. This was her first book, and she said, this is what I saw. I saw this tree, and this tree had this in it, and it had that in it, and children. And so I did her book cover. I actually used Midjourney for her cover.
And that's how we started to get this one, because I wanted this scroll and I knew that I saw it with filigree and it had some stuff around it. Just for a word for the wise, Midjourney and probably all of AI doesn't do hands very well. And so I wanted a hand holding the scroll, but Midjourney just wasn't able to handle it. But that's all good because it turned out beautifully anyway.
Back then, they've improved right now.
They have improved now? Okay.
Improved now, they worked on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Very good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else about books or publishing that you want to share before we jump into your Eclesia group?
Well, I would just invite anyone who want to write something, just begin doing it. I'm here to help. If you want to talk to me about anything, how do you begin this process? What are the first steps? I'm the first steps person. I can keep it as simple as ever and to help you to do it. That's all. Just contact me and I will help you. And my prices are really good.
Yeah,
I'll work with you. I have a wider budget. Like this is what the price is for certain things. But then if I have a face-to-face conversation, then I will know where you're at. And, we work on an individual basis. Yeah, I prefer it like that. I like more relational work. Yeah.
Oh, one more question I have about it. The interior layout turned out really, really good. But I was wondering if you do this kind of stuff too, like the chapters have the scroll across the top, and
yeah,
it's a full bleed.
Headers.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I talk about a header? Oh my goodness, I love headers.
And then I also have.
Let me see.
Yeah, then I also have section dividers because.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Right. And that is because I want to have a very obvious place where these are the prayers and declarations in the back. So if they've done all of the training on how to co-create, how to vision what's on their scroll and bring it down into the realm, then after this section divider, then that's all of the prayers and declarations that they'll turn to every day, all over their business and over their, all of the stuff that.
Can you show it again? Could you please show the section again?
Sure, oh my God. It's just the black.
That's gorgeous.
Well, you designed it, girlfriend.
Oh my God. No, but the black and white with the little lights.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Yeah. And wow, then the chapter headers are very similar as well.
Okay, I like that. Could I see chapter 1? Sorry, this is my nerd moment. I love it.
You're nerding. Oh, you're nerding, aren't you?
Right, yeah. Let me see. Say do that introduction.
As a drop.
I love that. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the Kindle. What did you do with the Kindle? Did you do the header on the Kindle also?
This is a great discussion. I'm so glad you asked that. This book is all about co-creating. So you're pulling from the spirit realm into the 3D realm. The first part of that is writing down the vision to make it plain, but writing it down is still only 2D, right? Using the frequency of your emotions and your intention, and that it is finished energy, is what brings it into 3D. I worked hard to get this book into 3D, right? I am not going to reverse it back into the ether, into 0 dimension by putting it in.
Okay, I see what you mean. But
you see what I'm saying?
Okay, so I was working on something. I love that. I was working on something that I put it on a little bit, not me, somebody else. We were working on it to bring books as NFT. Books as NFTs. So so that is something that I'm still looking to it. Yeah, I'm not. I put it on a little bit.
I mean, I understand that people want to do that, but that
Yeah.
defeats the entire purpose of the training in the book, because we're bringing things
Okay.
from the spirit realm through the dimensions into 3D. And here it is in
Okay, I got
3D, and you want me to put it
tangible.
back?
Okay, you want to touch it like this, like this. I want to feel that
Exactly.
thing.
It's three-dimensional width,
Yeah.
depth, and height, right?
Okay, good, good, good. I got you. I totally
Okay.
agree with you. I agree. That book is gorgeous. I really like it. Oh my goodness. I love headers. So a bit worried about headers. I actually do my headers in Canva. And then
Oh,
but actually I just don't use Canva. I use Procreate. I use
okay.
Procreate, like the books that I did for a lady. Oh, this is beautiful. I did it in Midjourney. Then Midjourney I did it in, and then I put it in, that I did in Canva. I think I did the measurements. Then I put it in Procreate to make some parts transparent and erase certain parts and add the
Yeah,
word in.
that
So
makes
I
sense.
create a full editor like a JPEG. Then exported it at 300, 400 DPI for the header, full bleed. Yeah, I love headers. I love the things that we could do with those headers.
I
Wow,
do
that book.
too. And I love that I have the full bleed line with the name of the
Yes.
book. And then over here, I put the chapter number and the name, because if I reference and I say go back to chapter 5 and it only has the name of the chapter, someone might not remember, right? So
Okay, I like that.
it's very much for reference to do training, to do the activations that are in there, and then to use it as to steward and stand on the co-creating. So
Mhm.
I want to get,
Yeah.
I'm a get her done girl. I don't want to just have shelf help. I really want people to literally manifest their destiny on the earth. So,
And I like how you did stick to the normal industry requirements of you put this here and that here. You actually put I like that. Very
yeah,
good.
and one more thing that I did that's quite different is that the table of contents is
Mhm.
3 pages long because it's very heavily referenced, like the things that are inside the chapters. So if you just want to turn to this training on how to do the one thing, oh, what is the legal paperwork and authority I need from the heavenly realms to do my business? That's all. It's in chapter 2, number 4. So it's like we can go directly to that page,
So
So
let me ask you now, are you going to create a course around this? Because
oh yeah.
this look like a very good. There you go.
Actually,
Yes.
yes, I have, I also already have, when you buy the book, there is a link to get the download of me speaking out the activation. So you can literally just close your eyes and listen and be with Jesus to get the destiny scroll and to envision it with him, to co-create it with him. So that's all, it's all free. When you get the book, then the link is in there. And then I also have the declaration of trade course is already on my website and ready to go. So that's all in there. So it's all part of the course that's on there. It's $97. So it's kind of already there.
Yeah, wow, that's really good. Really
Yeah.
good, really.
Yeah.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
Wow.
And then of course, if people need help to do that activation, I can do that with them if they, want to sign up for that. But I want to come back around to your Eclesia group or Eclesia group.
Burning ones.
You're in
Yes.
Canada, right?
Yes, in Canada. Yeah.
So tell us about
Toronto.
that.
Okay, well, of course, I think you know that from the other interviews that started many years ago, 2013 or 2012, I think it was. And the whole thing with the name, I just had burning ones. And then one night it was lying and Father said, I want you to call it Ecclesia. He didn't even say Ecclesia. Thank you. So he said Ecclesia. Because I probably would have not said it properly. And he said, say Ecclesia. And I said, okay, sure. What does Ecclesia mean? Right. And so that was a journey. Yeah, I just give a little thing. I don't want to really go there now, but that was a journey, really beautiful. But Ecclesia of Burning Ones has been one of the most incredible things that I have walked in. Not the ministry name, what it really represents. as sons of love, the burning ones who are those who are burning with the love of the Father, really become living light, living, burning ones of love, because many waters cannot quench love. And our Father is a consuming fire, which is love, and all the faces and the facets of that love. That's what the burning ones really is. And then from that place, we're able to bring the government and see the government of our Father first in our own lives. That's where we burn. And then to Jerusalem, Sumerian to the uttermost part. That's the principle there. And so, yeah, so that's what that name means to me. But fast forward to now, we had a bit of a sabbatical, but right now we are continuing. We are on Mighty Network, which is a private platform called our virtual house or church, if you want to use the word. And what we're doing now, every Sunday, we do have what we call mystical meditation. And the word just because himself, what's that? Right? Oh my God, it's a mystery. Beautiful. So it's mystical meditation. And it's kind of, that really came from something called Lectio Divina, which is an old thing that we used to use, which meditating on the scripture, but we don't really use that format. It's I had a couple of years when I felt fathers talked about meditation, and then I waited a while to see how do we do this. And so every Sunday at 2:00 right now, Toronto Eastern Time, we just meet together online via Zoom, and we may take a scripture, depends, and we of course ascend and just pray in tongues and just wait to see what would happen. And one scripture, it could be a phrase, could go for 2 hours. Engage and use the scripture as a gateway or a doorway to see and to enter into, well, not enter into, I don't even know the words. We're already in Hebrews 10, 18 to 20, we're already in. We have boldness to come before the throne.
Right.
But the scripture, it just unfolds like layers and layers and layers of truth, like a building block, just connected with each other. It's really powerful. And then the Hebrew living letters already also show up. And that time, like last one we did was Mem and Gemel, right? And that was Psalms 23, I think verse 3, right? He leads me, he makes me to lighting in green pastures, which we engage in, and we start to experience Gemel, the place of full supply. And so it was huge, it was powerful. And the living waters, and engage with Mem. So it's really mystical meditation. We just sit there, and we just sit in silence and just wait, a lot of waiting, and then we each share what we experience and so forth. And it's not just, oh, we're doing this because we have to meet on Sunday. What happens, each one has their voice, their sound, their scroll that is being opened. And I tell somebody, if you don't speak, you rob us of what you have, because it's just, even if it's one word, just say something, and it's just magnificent what happens, that each one just come together like parts of a whole something. And what it's like, I call it, that's what he's called, the carpenter. He's a great architect, the one who builds his house. And the scriptures and everything that we receive, what is revelations, words seem so minuscule to describe. It's like the carpenter building his house, the hammer and the nails and the different parts of it to build his house. Because what we see and what we engage in is not just reading it, but now we engage in, he makes me to lighting in green pastures. And we engage in that place, and it's a reality. And it becomes part of our psyche, part of our programming, part of our makeup, part of our algorithm, right? And we're filled with the truth and the reality of the living word himself and what that looks like. And then that will manifest in our lives. So that's what mystical meditation is, y'all.
I love it. I love it, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Wow. And so how can people join that?
Be on Facebook and our website. Needs revamping, don't laugh at me. My boys is supposed to help me with that too. Even though I could do it, I don't have time to do that. Yeah, it's Eclesia of Burning Ones at eclesiaofburningones.com. That's it, the website.
Eclesiaofburningones.com, and everything will be in the show notes for you guys to just click the links. So it's all good.
And I'm also creating some courses. I haven't
Good.
completed it, but it's basic courses for people who are now saying things like, how can I see in the spirit? How can I ascend? What are the 7 spirits? So it's just really basic courses. I'm just helping people with that now, and yeah, so we'll see where that goes.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
Very good. It's certainly needed to help people bridge over from the church age, because they're not taught
Yeah,
in church about the kingdom of God. So
exactly.
yeah, that's why we're forerunners and called to awaken the ecclesia, right? Or ecclesia.
Yes. Ecclesia. I think he would
Ecclesia.
have told us, he would have said, hey, Bralynn, I want you to say Ecclesia. Then he said, but I want you to say Ecclesia. That's our dad.
It's all good. It's all good. Neither of
Okay.
us speak original Greek, so it's okay.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Wow.
you again, Elizabeth. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your expertise. Thank you again for doing this beautiful artwork for my cover of my book, Discover Your Business Destiny, Co-Creating, Stewarding, and Standing to Manifest God's Plan. And you can get it on spiritcenteredbusiness.com. And do go to the ecclesiaofburningones.com to catch up with Elizabeth, or email her at eclesiapublishing@gmail.com if you are an aspiring author and you want to get started. She is so kind and patient to work with.
I love
All right. Thanks,
it.
Elizabeth, and we'll talk to you
Thank
soon.
you so much,
And
Bralynn. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Until next time, stay spirit-centered. Peace out. Hey there, SCB peeps. I want to give a huge shout out and deep appreciation and thanks to Candace Benton. She has become a super sponsor for the Spirit Centered Business Show. So I would appreciate you helping me in sending blessings and abundance back to her. Thank you so much, Candace, and you are well loved.
Thank you for listening to Spirit Centered Business with Bralynn Newby. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. The next stage of doing business by being spirit-centered is coming together in collaboration, working with spiritual principles, and knowing our destiny. Join our tribe at spiritcenteredbusiness.com, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace out.